sorry that the lighting is so bad, but I literally have every light on in the room and it's really overcast outside and it just rained for the first time in months. I'm in such a good mood, so I decided to make this video. Okay, so in the last video I said I was going to be reading 1984, but that was a lie, because I did read 1984 halfway through, but then I had to send it on to Julia, or Amy actually, and in the process of reading 1984 I bought Paper Towns and I started reading that and I finished it yesterday. The cool thing about while I was reading Paper Towns is 2 days ago I met John Green, and I met him twice because he came to my school, Palisades Charter High School, and he talked to us about his book, and then I went to the Nerdfighter gathering in Los Angeles, or Santa Monica, and I got it signed. I got Paper Town signed, and my best, like my favorite book ever, Looking for Alaska, signed. So yeah, I'm happy. So I'm going to talk about Paper Towns because it's the one I finished, and then I'll go back to 1984. I'm not going to reread the beginning. I'm just going to go from where I was, because I remember what happened. I'm good. I can read like 4 books at a time, trust me. So first I would like to start off by talking about the cover. There's 2 covers. There's the blue cover and the yellow cover, and I personally bought the blue cover because one, the bookstore I was at only had the blue cover, and also because I like it more. I like blue more. It's a better color, looks better to me. I don't know, just a personal thing. And so John Green explained that both of the covers are misleading because neither of them are the main character, which is Margot Roth Spiegelman, which is arguably the main character because she's not the narrator, but it's mostly about her. And neither of them are actually her. They're both just mirror views on how people see her, and how whichever book you buy reflects more of who you are as a person than what the actual character is like. So that was really awesome, and I learned a lot from the gathering, so I'm probably just gonna spit that information back at you guys so you guys get to know about it as well. A quick summary on what it was about for those of you who have not read it. It is about a boy named Quentin Jacobson who grew up next to a girl named Margot Roth Spiegelman. They moved in as neighbors when they were 2, and they were friends for most of their life until Margot became a super popular, perfect girl and kind of distanced herself from Quentin. And Quentin has been in love with Margot like his whole entire life, and he always just watches her from a distance and thinks she's like this perfect, like superhuman, like she's always on adventures, she's always having fun, she's always in a good mood. Margot to him is just perfect all the time. She never has, you know, sad emotions, she's never down about anything. And so basically one day Margot, just after years of just not really being friends and stuff, she comes up, climbs through his window and's like, let's go on an adventure. So they go on a one-day adventure, and so Quentin thinks like, oh, like she picked me, and now they're gonna be friends, and they're gonna, you know, he thinks maybe they'll even hook up, and like the next day at school it's gonna be awesome, but she disappears. And the story kind of goes from there, of Quentin trying to find Margot and where she has gone and what happened to her. So yeah, that's what it's about. So I absolutely am obsessed with John Green's writing style. Like it literally sounds like teenagers talking. It doesn't sound like a book. It just sounds like a conversation you're listening into. And his characters are always really witty and really funny, and this book is no different. It's very funny and also very serious, and I love the ending, and it's an amazing book. I didn't cry, but I definitely came close to crying. Anyway, so John Green talked about how Margot Roth Spiegelman, Roth is red, and Spiegelman means mirror maker. And so mirror maker is a play on how people see her. So they see a reflection of Margot, but they don't see the actual person. They can't see past her appearance of, you know, being a superhuman. And Roth is red. Her middle name is Red because in the book everything is black and white, and she's that, you know, mix of little dot of color. So he's explaining this, and I was like, oh my god, like, reading the book knowing that is gonna make it so much better for you. Like, you'll find those things as you read it, and you'll be like, oh my god, like, wow. So, but it's just as good if you know afterwards. And it's just full of, the whole thing is just about the two different versions of Margot. And he said, don't ever think someone is more than human because it's dangerous. And he pointed out how Edward Cullen, I've never read the Twilight books, but he pointed out how, like, all these girls think that, like, Edward Cullen is, like, more than human, and so Margot is basically the female version of Edward. And so people who have read Twilight and read this, you can compare, like, Margot and Edward. And he's like, never think someone is more than human because it can be dangerous to, you know, be obsessed with someone. Well, not... It's just dangerous to, like, think that someone is more than you. This isn't straight, sorry. It's just really annoying me. Anyway, so this book was perfect. Every level. I highly recommend it. Looking for Alaska is still my favorite. I still have to read Abundance of Catherines. That's next on my list after 1984. So Looking for Alaska is still my favorite. There are some similarities between Alaska and Margot, and both boys, Quentin and Miles, in Looking for Alaska. So it's really good to read these two, because I think these kind of tie in, well, not the stories, but they kind of tie in together. So it would be amazing. John said that his personal favorite was Paper Towns, but my personal favorite is still Looking for Alaska. I actually am considering rereading Paper Towns, and I never reread books. Ever. Ever. I don't think I've ever reread a book before. One. I reread one, because once I read it in 5th grade, and then I read it again in, like, 8th. But that's it. So I'm definitely gonna read this again. So yeah. Book review done.